Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Michelle, an autistic woman raising 3 autistic kids along with my amazing husband. Today's video is all about 10 things you need to know about autism spectrum disorder, especially if you're newly diagnosed, exploring the possibility of being autistic, or just wanting to better support someone you care about. But before we get started, please make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. I started this channel to create a safe space for neurodivergent people to share experiences, learn from each other, and hopefully feel a little less alone in the world. Number 1, autism is a spectrum. It's not a straight line. It's okay when we hear people say the word spectrum, they sometimes imagine a straight line from not very autistic to very autistic, but that's not really how it works. Autism is actually more like a color wheel or a mixing board with different traits and intensities in areas like communication, sensory processing, social interaction, emotional regulation, and more. 2 autistic people can have completely different strengths and challenges. One might be really verbal and struggle with sensory overload, while another might use AAC to communicate and be totally fine in busy environments. It's all very valid. Spectrum is diverse and it's not ranked. Number 2, it's a neurotype, not a disease. Autism isn't an illness, it's a neurological difference. That just means our brains are wired differently, and that difference impacts how we interact with the world. We often experience and process things like emotions, language, and social situations differently. That doesn't mean we're broken. It means the world just isn't always set up with our needs in mind. And it's important to move away from that idea that autistic people need to be fixed or made normal. What we really need is support, accommodation, and respect for our differences. Number 3 is eye contact. Now, eye contact isn't a universal sign of engagement. This one's a biggie. In a lot of cultures, eye contact is considered respectful or a sign that someone's paying attention. But for many autistic people, eye contact can be overwhelming, painful, or just distracting. Some of us listen better when we look away. Some of us focus on your forehead or your mouth instead of your eyes. Some of us were taught to fake eye contact, and it still feels uncomfortable. Or some of us, like me, would stare so intensely that I made you feel uncomfortable. Just remember, lack of eye contact doesn't mean lack of interest. Number 4, masking. Now, masking is exhausting. It's when we hide or suppress our autistic traits to appear more neurotypical. Things like mimicking facial expressions, rehearsing small talk, copying body language, or stopping ourselves from stimming. A lot of us start masking as kids without even realizing it. We do it to fit in or to avoid getting into trouble. But over time, masking takes a massive toll. It's mentally and emotionally draining, and it can lead to things like burnout, anxiety, and identity confusion. Unmasking can be scary at first, but it's also incredibly freeing. Number 5, sensory processing. This is a big deal for many of us because the world can be too loud, too bright, too itchy, too smelly, and just too much. That sensory overload, it can lead to meltdowns, shutdowns, or feeling completely fried. And on the flip side, some autistic people are undersensitive and seek more stimulation. Things like deep pressure, bright colors, or movement. Understanding our sensory needs and having access to things like noise-cancelling headphones, sunglasses, or sensory-friendly clothing can make life way more manageable. Now, number 6, stimming. Now, stimming is normal and helpful, and it's short for self-stimulatory behavior. It can be physical like flapping, rocking, or pacing, or verbal like repeating words or sounds. Stimming helps us regulate emotions, manage sensory input, and process information. It can be calming, grounding, and sometimes even joyful. People often tell us to stop stimming because it looks weird, but honestly, stimming is a natural, healthy part of how many of us cope with the world. All right, number 7, communication looks different. Now, not every autistic person speaks. Some use sign language, AAC devices like I mentioned before, or written communication. Some speak in scripts or echolalia, and some need more processing time before they can respond. Verbal ability isn't a measure of intelligence, and just because someone is quiet or non-speaking doesn't mean that they don't understand. It's important to listen in the way that they communicate, not just expect them to meet you where you're at. Number 8, routine is comforting, not controlling. Routines and sameness are really comforting for a lot of autistic people. Predictability helps us feel safe, prepared, and less anxious. And it's not about being rigid or inflexible. It's that sudden changes or surprises can throw everything out of balance. Even little disruptions like a bus running late or a store layout changing can feel huge. Having structure and advance warning gives us the time and space to adjust. And number 9, autistic burnout is real. Autistic burnout is a state of extreme physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion. It often happens after long periods of masking, sensory overwhelm, or pushing ourselves to function in environments that aren't autism friendly. Burnout can make it harder to do things we usually manage just fine, like socializing, working, or even speaking. Some of us experience what feels like a regression in our skills, which can be scary and frustrating. Recovery takes time, rest, routine, and support, and not pressure to get back to normal. And last but certainly not least, 10, acceptance over awareness. Awareness is fine, but acceptance is really what matters. We don't need more puzzle pieces or stereotypes. We need people who are willing to listen to autistic voices, make spaces accessible, and respect how we show up in the world. That includes making accommodations without making us feel guilty, including us in conversations about our needs, and understanding that our ways of communicating, feeling, and connecting are just as valid as anyone else's. So those are the 10 things you need to know about autism spectrum disorder. If you're autistic and anything here made you feel seen, well, hello, I see you. And if you're here trying to learn and support someone in your life, thank you. It really does matter, and we really do appreciate it. Feel free to drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I really do love chatting with you all and hearing your stories. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.